Hello, everyone. Jak Syn here on behalf of Fiend.com and Future Daze. And today we're doing a new segment called Artist Updates. Today I am sitting with Yota. How you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty awesome, I'd say. So I am so excited to sit here again with you today and talk about all of the amazing things that you have going on and really kind of just finding out about, what's been going on since we last spoke.
Yeah. So we last spoke, it was in September last year. And that was a couple of months after my, actually a half year, right? After my release with Hazy Paradise, I guess, a couple of months at least after. And ever since, it's been quite crazy, like as far as, interviews and feedback and all of these kind of like really lovely things that has happened. I couldn't imagine that it would be like this. And then I've been working on my album. So I've been working on my upcoming album that is going to be called Lucid Dreams. And it's going to be out. I don't know. I don't have the date yet. I know that it's going to be out. And so that's kind of like confirmed. And it's going to be out pretty soon, I think, I hope. And it's kind of like a continuation of Hazy Paradise. It's kind of like a dreamy, it's a little dreamy trip. And lucid dreams, I don't know if you know what lucid dreams is, like what it is.
Yeah, like, the kind of like that when you're asleep but not really asleep and everything feels like really
Yeah,
weird and like,
yeah.
kind of real but not real.
Yeah, so lucid dreams is about when you're in between the dream state and the awakened state, and then you can actually like go in and kind of like control your dream, kind of like, or think like a classic one is when you're flying, and then you can just fly, but then you're like, but I want to fly over there, I want to go there, I want to do all these things, and lucid dreams is all about this. There's a deeper meaning, kind of like it's about kind of like if you enter a state of mind where you can control things, and you can control things. If you have a wish, for example, that didn't come true, then you might try and change. So the idea is that you can change this thing, and you can, for example, meet, if you want to meet somebody, for example, you can meet this person, but it's not possible in real life. I'm giving you an example. Then in the lucid dream, you can just make it happen. And it's something about being a bit mysterious and something between reality and dream, but still it's reality.
Touching upon what you're talking about with lucid dream, it's like, I know this might sound kind of funny or kind of weird, but you know what? It's like sometimes I'll be sitting and I'll be thinking about things like this, and I'll kind of go like, okay, some people go, well, time travel is not possible, right?
Yeah,
But time travel is possible in your mind, right?
it is.
Because guess what? You are an architect of your own thought process. So it's like
Yes.
if there is a memory that you want to revisit or
Yeah.
go back and try to basically rebuild that memory and
Yeah.
change it to what you would have actually wanted in that moment in time, you can do it
Yeah.
through thought.
Totally.
Even though it may
Absolutely.
not be in the real world, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still something that you can believe in your own mind. And that I
Definitely.
think is amazing.
That's amazing. And it's limitless. That's the good thing. It's like there are no limits. The mind doesn't have any limits in that sense. I mean, limitless in the sense that you would be limited by, like, because in the reality, we are limited by different things. But whereas in the mind, you're not in the same sense, at least. And then if we take it to the next level, it's like, but we're saying in reality, but why wouldn't that be a reality? That's also, who defines that that wouldn't be a reality? You know what I mean? I'm looking at lucid dreams as much as a reality, in the sense that are the reality that we call, here and now. And so, and this idea of making anything, you can make anything happen in this kind of reality, is really intriguing, and really, I think it's really deep and really interesting.
You are
So I would
correct.
say, yeah, it is, right? So I'm thinking that lucid dreams is definitely like a good follow-up or a continuation of the little trip that we were, experiencing hazy paradise. So it's kind of like dreamy still, but there are some new producers on it. So there are new producers, which adds a new kind of sound, of course, as well.
That's true. That is very true. You know, I think that was so interesting because it's like, well, the way I see it in my head is like, when we think of like hazy paradise, you kind of go like, okay, well, imagine if you were a person who was out enjoying themselves, partying, things like that, and everything starts to get kind of hazy, right? And then you kind of segue into the next release where it's kind of like, okay, you come home, you finally plop your head on the bed, and then all of a sudden you go into this lucid dream state where you are going on a bit of a journey inside of
Oh
your
my
own head.
God, where were you in the writing process? Like, this is amazing. That's great. Yeah. Okay. Continue.
So then like the next the next release should be like, you waking up out of that state, out of that lucid state,
Ooh.
you know what I mean, like a surprise, like a you coming back to reality in some way, you know what I mean? So
Oh la la.
but
I
your
love this.
reality, but you're coming back to reality, but your reality has changed because you've managed to mold it in your lucid dream state. So
Honestly, I'm gonna contact you when it's time to write I mean, I do have some instrumentals for the next album already, but for the album after Lucid Dreams, but I haven't thought about these things. But this is brilliant. Thank you.
well, I'm glad I could be of some assistance right there. Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. So, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? See what
Yeah.
happens. I
Yes.
am super excited. Everybody out there, I'm super excited for what she has coming out. And I cannot wait to hear it. I cannot wait to hear all of the amazing things that are going on with your new music. Because, from me to you, like I've always said in the past, I'm a huge fan of your work. And I know a lot of people out there who feel exactly the same way as I do.
Thank you. Thank you.
So over the past year, what kind of things have been happening, like, like creative wise, with your work and your singing and stuff like that? Like what kind of things have been happening in your neck of the woods?
Hmm. Yeah. So I was in Sweden last autumn until I was there for 3 months, and I was working there. I was started to work there with the album, and I had the opportunity to be in the studio of my publisher studio. He is in located in a very nice area in Stockholm, and I could have my own studio there. There are many studios there, but I could have my own. And because of the COVID situation, I was basically more or less just alone there. As a two like, and it's 2 floors. It's just this lovely place, lovely mood. You have the lounge area. You have everything. It feels like almost like luxurious or something. Not to work at home. And it was really nice. So I was working there for 3 months, and then, oh, like not 3 months, but I was there for 3 months, and then I would go there, 3, 4 times a week and work on the album. And then when I came back home to Paris, I continued to work on the album, and it's been a very interesting creative process. It hasn't always been easy, as far as like, sometimes I've struggled with like the to finish energy wise, like to finish the tracks, because I feel that I have set the level, I'm trying to set the level quite high. So I've been, always like, yeah, but is it good enough? Or like, it's been but I'm not complaining, but it has been a little bit of a challenge because you're trying to live up to something, you know what I mean? But I think that I managed, and so that's what I've been doing. And then it's been, lockdown, so that has been a challenge. I'm not going to complain though. It's like, oh my God, lockdown is a challenge. I mean, I have my health, you know what I mean, and my loved ones have their health, so all good. But but it's crazy times, right? This COVID thing situation, and just being, you know, at home all the time, not being able to go out, all these things. So it's been a bit of a, yeah, interesting time, but yeah, it's been a very creative process, and I'm very happy with the results. So that's, I've been working on the album basically. That's what I've been doing, and interacting with all the fans. I think I've heard from somebody's like, they're like, yeah, you should be, you know, you should think about like, you can't answer everybody, you know, kind of like that thing. And I'm like, well, I want to answer on everybody, and I'm trying to answer everybody. Sometimes it might not be possible, but I'm trying. So a lot of the time goes to actually answering fans, which I love. I like having, like, I'm sending voice messages, and they're like, you're replying with voice messages? I'm like, yeah, sure. It's like, and people are like, you know, surprised.
Well,
Because
see,
it's not
that's
an
good.
unconventional way of communicating with your fans, which I love, and I'm not going to change it. It's just that I have to say that if I don't answer sometimes, it's because I can't, you know,
Mhm.
otherwise I would. So yeah.
Well, you know, it's, I mean, that's a good way to stay in touch with people. You know what I mean? It's like that's your
Yeah.
signature thing. I know, like for you and I, like talking back and forth, it's like I'll text you something and then you'll reply with a voice message. You know what I mean? And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's interesting. Like nobody really does it anymore.
Yeah, I
So
know.
that's always great to be able to connect that way. You know, and it's a little bit different. Not everybody, you know, has that, you know, connectivity, if you will.
Some people think that it's okay. Some people do not think that it's okay. I have a friend, he's like, do not send any voice messages. And then he sends me a long list of why voice messages are not good.
Yeah.
And so, but the reason why I do it is just because I think that it's faster. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
like faster because I'm replying to some, maybe sometimes a lot of people. So like, so it's really fast, you know? So yeah, that's
It's
why.
it's really great. It's just, you're right. It is your signature, you know. And going back to what you were talking about the past like year plus, when we were talking about all this stuff happening, it's like, you know, a lot of things have been difficult for a lot of people. Have always been like mindset, especially staying, you know, creative during all of this. A lot of
Mhm.
people have felt like, you know, it's hard for me to write as much as I used to. It's hard for me to kind of focus as much as I used to,
Yeah,
because all of the
yeah,
things
yeah,
that would have brought you
exactly.
joy are kind of
Yeah,
been taken away here and there. So it's like
yeah,
people kind of going like, you know, my inspiration has went from this down to this.
yeah,
So when you're kind of like shuttered in, like we had been, you know, for such a long time, and then you're finally starting to go back out, people's creativity is starting to open up a little bit more, you know, or I
yeah.
guess you could say mindset or positive mindset starting to open up a little bit
Mm.
more.
There's also in Paris now. Actually, it was quite interesting because when I was done with the album, and when I say done, I mean also done with, you know, press pictures and all these things. That was actually when Paris starts to open up again. So everything was like in the right time actually, because then I could like, it felt like almost somebody almost had a plan. Oh, that sounds stupid, but anyway, I was like done with that. And then when I was done with that, I sent it over to my manager and I said, James, here are the pictures, you know. And after that, the next day, I think we could go out and until 9 o'clock and have dinner. You know, we're like, oh, actually at a restaurant having dinner. Oh my God, this is so weird.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was it
so
was fortuitous. It really was fortuitous. It was meant to be in some way. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
just when you think like what, you know, it's things are gonna be one way, and all of a sudden they just change
yeah,
like
yeah.
crazy. So tell me, what kind of new things have you discovered about yourself creatively?
I'm very focused on the wild side, kind of like, and it sounds a bit weird maybe when I say that, but I'm very focused on the wild side of human nature. Um, the wild side as far as in a drive, like having a, like the passionate side of most of us do have, you know, passionate side and a drive, and like it can be quite a raw, I would say it's kind of like a raw emotion. I know that I use the term raw emotion so often, but it's, yeah, voila, that's me. But So I'm focusing quite a lot in the past 8, 7 months on the passionate sides of our personalities, and expressing and using that passion that all of us have inside in the creative process. So people will hear that a lot of the lyrics on this album are kind of like quite passionate and quite wild. Imagine like an animal that has been being caged. I'm not talking about myself. Like, oh, yeah, maybe it is. Who knows? No, I'm joking. But it's like, imagine an animal has been in a cage, and you open that cage, and then they start to like, okay, walk a little bit, like looking now, okay, and after a while it's like, whoa, okay, I see this and I see that, and then what happens in that process. So that's kind of like where I've been creatively, just letting things flow freely without holding back, and without trying to intellectualize emotions. That's where I've been creative wise. Yeah.
That is amazing, because it's funny, because that's like a metaphor for how we've all been over the time that we have been spending dealing with the global pandemic. It's like we have been kind of like shuttered in our cages, shuttered in our homes, and now all of a sudden things are opening up, and we're able to open the door a little bit and step outside. Once we start to acclimate back to things, like a lot of us are kind of going, this is weird, this feels a little foreign, what I mean? But I feel like I can finally like get out and kind of let myself go free a little bit. And we had been talking about this, I think, in our last interview, like how we were talking about when live shows come back, like how large it's going to be, how big it's going to be for a lot of people. And we're already starting to see that now, because it's like, now that we're kind of scheduling things and getting back to like, okay, this is coming up, that's coming up, people have started to go like, I'm going to go wild, I'm going to go nuts, I'm going to just be free to be who I am. And y'all are going to have to deal with it.
That's good. That's a good one. You're all gonna have to deal with it. That's good.
It really is. It really is. You know what I mean? And one of the things I also wanted to touch on, I gotta say that I always love playing your song "Till the Night Fades Out." I just absolutely love DJing that song, just because it's like, it feels, like it's that kind of track that when you listen to it and you play it and you get the audience into it, you kind of go like, this is that moment where you kind of feel that freeing feeling of where you just want to just let loose, go crazy, and just kind of just really get into the groove of the party. That's where you want to be. And so is always one of my favorite releases from
that I love the fact that you mentioned this one, because it's, people do not know. I mean, people do not mention that one that much. I think this is amazing. I'm really glad that you appreciate and that you like this song. I really like it myself as well. There is this expectation of what's gonna happen, and you're going out, and it's like, woo, just being happy and being free, and in free in the your expression, and just a party. It's a party track, right? So it's I love it.
It really is a party track. It really is a party track, and you can really get into it. You know what I mean? But it's like, even though it's, I mean, you're really feeling the groove, yes, but like the vocals that you have on that, even though they're not like the most like largest and overpowering vocals, they are enough to get you into that mindset where you need to be. You know what I mean? They flow so well. And a lot of people, it's always funny, because when I play it, people, like in the streams over the past year, they've kind of gone, who is this? Who is this? Where can I get this song? And
really?
I'm like, where? And I'm like, you guys need to check out Yota. You need to check her stuff out.
That is so great.
She really makes some awesome music.
Oh, that is sweet. Thank you.
Yes, but I absolutely love that track, and it really is one of really, really amazing releases out there. And like everybody out there, if you haven't checked out Yota's music, go check out Yota's music, because it is some really amazing stuff you have on. And finally, the final question as with all the interviews, is what positive message would you give your fans out there? The new positive message that you want to give them out there.
Always believe that it's possible to change things that you're not happy with. Do never lose hope. That is a very important message, I think. Never lose hope. There is usually a solution to most problems, unless it's, you know, I don't know, we will one day, it's going to sound so dark, we will all die one day, but this is a fact. Okay. Outside that, everything is possible. Okay. That's what I want to share. That feeling of knowing that you can make it happen. Whatever you want to make happen, whatever you want to do, it is possible. Okay. So just do it. You know, do not give up. If you really want to do something, if you believe in something, just do it. That is a very positive message, I think.
Exactly. That is true. If you just have to believe that you can do it. You just have to believe it. You have to believe it in your mindset. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to. You can, because a lot of these people, you know, they put a lot of people out there, they do put limiting beliefs on themselves, but you shouldn't do that. You should always believe that you can have any kind of life that you want to have, that you can achieve anything that you want to have, no matter, you know, what kind of limits you want to put on yourself. Just let it all fade away, because you have that one life, and you need to go out there and make it shine any way that you can. If you want to sing from the top of a rooftop, go ahead and sing from the top of a rooftop. If you want to go skydiving, go skydiving, you know, make it happen. Go on that vacation. Go on that vacation that you've been wanting to take. You know what I mean? Be creative. Write that song that you want to write. Draw that picture you want to draw, or make that movie that you want to make. Because when you're at the end of the road and you look back at the road that you have traversed, you don't want to have any regrets.
Exactly. You're exactly pointing out what I mentioned that I had an interview last week, and there was this thing, because they were asking me about the track called The Switch. There are people asking about this, but particularly The Switch. What did you think about, you know, when you wrote that, like the lyrics and stuff? And The Switch is about daring to do things and daring to actually take that step and act. If you've been holding back and you know what you want, but you're holding back because you're afraid or things like that, just do it. And I was mentioning in that interview as well, which I think is so important, that you had these people who were like, they were interviewing these people who were about to, like, you know, die. They were not, you know, they were in their last, how do you say, last stage of, they had different illnesses and stuff. And they asked them, what do you regret in your life, or what do you think, what are the most 5 important things? And one of the most important things was that they said that I regret that I didn't do what I wanted to do. And like, it can be different things, but they didn't do it because they were afraid. Like, I was afraid, I didn't do it, I was holding back, I didn't do it, but now I wish I would have done that. You know, do not hold back unless you obviously, like, because of some reasons have to. I don't know, like, there might be reasons where, because you have to hold back because of, you know, whatever, but otherwise do not hold back. Go for it.
You are exactly right. Go for it. Go for it. Do not hold back. Everybody out there, don't hold back. Go ahead and make the kind of world that you want. Make the world the way that you want. Now, while we may not be able to be responsible for other people's actions and the things that they can do, we can be responsible for the kind of things that we do, our actions.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that old saying goes, you know, it's like actions speak louder than words. If you want to shake the walls and you want to make the sky light up, you know, just make the life that you want. And that will take you amazing places. It will. Definitely. So thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me again today, Yota. Thank you to everybody who tuned in to watch us have this conversation. If you like these videos, be sure to like and subscribe to our Tour Fiend YouTube channel, as we have many more awesome artist updates on the way from previous artists that we've interviewed. It's been such a pleasure, Yota. every time. And I gotta say, thank you so much for doing all the amazing things that you do.
That's very kind of you. Thanks for having me again. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And I cannot wait to get over there to Paris one day soon and see it and experience it because it is amazing. And I cannot wait for you to come over here to LA sometime and perform a
Oh
show
my
because I know
God.
that would be amazing.
I'd so look forward to come to LA and really to meet you and all the other people in the business. I so look forward to that, and I know it's gonna happen because I was about to say lucid dream. It's not a lucid dream. I dreamt about, and I knew that it's gonna happen. That dream is gonna happen. The way it looks, all the details. We're not gonna get into that now, but it's gonna happen. I know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's going to happen very, very soon. So,
Yeah.
to everybody out there, remember, keep fighting, keep building, keep creating, and I'll see you guys next time.